the thing that we have going on today's show is we got some amazing special guests who have just been politely
Yes.
chilling in the wings while we kiki with y'all. So, we got to do our thing. We got to bring them on. I've been looking forward to this all day. Like, what are we
Yes,
talking
for real,
about?
for real. Um, this group right here, I it's interesting because I brought them to Brie and I was like, yo, I need you to like check out this comic right quick. Cause I'm scrolling as one typically does on TikTok.
Yeah.
And at that time, I was just buying comics off of TikTok left and right. And I had seen this like slasher and like the premise came up and I was like, ooh, it's queer. It's like friends to enemies and they're trying to like survive this purge type thing in a dystopia. Yeah, yeah, yeah. This was made for me because this
It
sounds fun as fuck.
quite literally, that was my exact thought when I clicked on it. I was like, "Oh, so they really just locked in with Keisha's psyche and was like, what's going to be the perfect book that ticks all of her boxes with this
It
type of energy?" Yeah. Yeah.
No
I was
notes.
like,
I
"Oh, this
had a
is very
time.
peak on brand."
Yes, absolutely. And so like I knew I bought the digital first,
Mhm.
finished the digital, immediately bought a physical and was like, yeah, this needs to be in my collection. This is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
Um and so like we finally have them like this interview has been sitting in the wings for quite some time. So this is y'all gonna hear me fangirl super fucking hard, and we're all gonna like accept that
Yes. Mind
because
your business. If you see her fangirling, you didn't. Mind your
mind your
business.
business. This is gonna be great. I mean, I have some questions, but for real, it's gonna be like, yo, this was wonderful. This page was wonderful. This panel was amazing. And so, yes, just heads up. All right. So, I guess that it was a good introduction. Let's bring out the team from Bold Strokes LA. Hold on, let me make sure I got this and I can like time this right. All right, here goes the team from Bold Strokes LA. We have Simone Warrick and Alicia Mata. Hey, hey, y'all. Sorry, I tried to do that. Mm.
Yeah,
We're
neither of
working
us are
on it.
ready for that sort of warm room. I think we need to.
No,
Yes.
yo, we're so
Welcome.
happy that you're here. Like I
Yes.
said, this is something I read this back in November and loved this comic so much. And I'm so happy that I got Bree to read it. And it is my full intent to get everybody in the comments, everybody listening to read it. This is a fantastic comic. Y'all did a
Yes.
fantastic job.
Yes. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to come through. We really appreciate you. Like, I mean, we touched on it a little bit in the intro, but like when I tell you Keisha was like, "Hey, yo, you got to go look at this." I was like, "Okay, okay." Like she normally will come to me like, "Oh, check this out" or whatever, but she had a lot
No.
of energy for this book, and so I was
Yeah.
like, "Okay." And I was talking my shit. I was like, "It better be really fire with you coming at me like this." And I was like, "Okay, okay, you knew what you was talking about. You didn't gas me up. It was a real deal." I was like, "Okay, this is a
Yeah.
vibe." Like off jump, you're like building up on like the environment, what's going on, and I was literally like clutching my pearls from the first couple pages, and then the energy just keeps doing this and pushing you forward, and so I was just like, "Oh dang, she wasn't gassing. This was actually such a good read." So I was just very excited. And for those of you in the chat or listening wherever, you're gonna want to buy a copy for yourself anyway. But if you're a Kindle Unlimited girly, okay, you can access it so you can read it digitally because we love to be able to experience the medium in all forms. So
Period.
definitely go check it out there so you can understand why we're fangirling about it, and then run and go cop your physical copy, because that's just how we roll. But before we get into like fully just gushing about the story itself, there's a
Yes.
question that we love to ask any guests who come visit us in the Pink Riot Lair, and that's, what is your comic book origin story? So what got you into reading and enjoying comics, and then what got you into creating comics?
Oof. Yeah, that's a tough one, which I knew was coming. Uh, but to try and do it shortly, I have always been a storyteller. I was an avid just consumer as a kid. If I wasn't, all my friends were outside, experiencing that earth thing that people talk about, and I was inside either creating stories with dolls or reading or writing or watching something. And so, yeah, I think I just kind of consumed a little bit of everything, and then only just recently came back to it about maybe like 8 or so years ago for work, and which is part of a bigger story. But I don't want to take away time from Alicia's answer. But yeah, getting into the working on it was was a crazy random. I wouldn't even say that it was a mistake, because it was the best thing that I did in my career, but it was very much almost a mistake, where I was just like, maybe we try it. If it doesn't work, it works, and it kind of worked. So we ran with it. But yeah, go ahead, Alicia.
So I have a relative who's definitely into comics and kind of got me into it. I'm like the only girl in my family that is really into comics, and I've been drawing for a long time, and kind of like telling stories using this medium. And yeah, Simone hit me up over email and kind of just pitched the story, and I was on board from day one. So it's
Yeah,
been it's been pretty
Mhm.
exciting.
I love that. Okay, so it was a I'm just gonna reach out via email. So like, when did the idea for the
Yes.
story come to you that led to you reaching out to Alicia?
Okay, so very long story short, this was, and we try to keep this close to our chest, so we're giving you guys a little bit of an exclusive. This was definitely a fan fiction, which is why I say that it was. And it was like in my coming back to writing for joy journey, rather than writing for work or
Yes.
writing for money. And so I dabbled back in my fanfic era, and that's also how I met the co-writer. And so yeah, we were working on a zine for another show that had gotten canceled.
Mm.
And a few of the artists that were working on that with me as well were just like, we can do this. This is something we can do for real, even if it's crazy. And with Alicia, I was already following, because and I almost wore my Avatar short. She's a big Avatar fan, and to say the least. And so I knew her from some Kurosaki art that she drew, and I was, oh,
Hold on, I have another one because I love
please
Avatar.
do. My full name is Mike, so that's what my when I was a teacher, that's what my kids would call me, Momo.
Oh,
So
yeah, Appa.
this is my
Oh,
opera. My opera is amazing.
now you get it. You get it.
I
So yeah,
do.
that's all to say. She lured me in with the Korosami. You got it back too.
Yeah, Kurosami brings us all together.
It unites the nations for sure.
Period. Okay, so like, we all kind of understand the concept of a purge from like the movies and all that type of stuff. Why was it important to like let that be like the grounds that the story is developing on?
Ooh, I love that question. And I want to speak a little bit just to the design of the space, and I want Alicia to talk to specifically the details that made it this dystopia.
Mhm.
But I'll say, I think there is a time and a place for us to try and escape into our media, to try and get away from what's happening. And then there's a time and a place to focus on it.
Yeah.
And I very much, I don't know, I felt like the first thing that I did needed to speak to the reason why I was doing it. This is obviously set in a dystopia. It's not supposed to be based in reality. And yet every single day I keep rewriting volume 2 because there's something happening in real life. And I'm like, well,
We're like 2 snaps
Yeah.
away from the reality that is this.
like I would say we're one shotgun away, but even that's already happening. So yeah, it's
I mean, to be fair, like you said it, like the comic is set in 2036. Like, and it took me a minute to figure out, like, oh, this isn't like so far out. Like, one of the first few pages, you bring up, what is the name? Trinity Rodman. And I was like, oh, that's Rodman's daughter. Wait, this is close. And I had to like, I was like, oh, this is this is a very near future. And like you said, it really felt this is something that could happen. You said it in Texas, which I'm like, oh, we're only a few steps, maybe 2, 3 from that
When I
actually
tell you
existing.
that aspect of the story, when you first mentioned the concept of New Texas, it was a gut punch because I lived in Texas for like a decade. And okay, so Alicia, it's like a joke, but like low key serious one that is made like all the time. Like, this is why we should just, and I just be like, I'm a California girl through and through, started here, left a little bit, and then came back. But while I was there, that is a legit thing that is like he ha ha'd about on a regular basis. So when it was like New Texas, and then like Keisha said, you see the time frame, it's like, okay, that just spiked my pressures up a little bit because they genuinely joke about it, but of all the things that are going on right now, like, and you see how they approach them differently, like the way that I spazzed many a time on my friends in Texas during like the peak of the pandemic because they were acting like nothing was happening. I was like,
yeah.
okay. So yeah, y'all, that that was gonna be one of my later questions, but since we touching on it, y'all, that really was like a ooh, that's what made it hit home for me because I was like, yeah, and it
And
would be like that too, talking about the pledge and all of that.
yes,
I was like,
exactly.
whoop,
Yeah.
No, I mean that's how we knew we weren't, kind of we weren't making too much of a joke out of it. That it is the reality is because so much of the support that we're seeing is actually coming from Texas, coming from Ohio, coming from Oklahoma, places where I thought would be like, "Oh, you're making fun of us," but they're reading and being like, "Yes, you nailed that shit."
You're affirming this.
Exactly. That's how Alicia was like so instrumental to this because like the very first message I sent her, she's like, "Did you know I live in Texas?" And I was like, "Yes, there's no interview needed. We will be." And so much of what she brings is this, this she's present. She sees. That's why like that's what makes an illustrator, right? Is someone who goes out in the world and just sees the details. So she'll be sending me pictures of like something happening at Buc-ee's, and I'm like, well, that's wooden somehow, and that's how we keep it, feeling real, feeling grounded.
Yeah.
Wow.
I literally saw a dude riding a horse down the street the other day, so you know.
you're normal.
I mean,
It's kind of
yeah.
a flex there, like, because you have to have money to own horses for real, and you have to have even more money if you're taking care of them, and or you have enough of them where you can be like riding your horse in public. That was like
Mhm.
the thing at like football games and stuff in high school. You see everybody like spinning out in their cars, and then you got a group of people who pull up in their horses. Like, it's a
Yeah.
wild place. This is a wild place.
I like that you guys pick up on the details. This is crazy. This is like
Oh,
exactly when she sent me that. I was like, it's going in the comic, but it's going in the comic to talk about recession specifically.
Yeah.
I mean, like y'all did a fantastic job. Like, cause I mean, we touched on it a little bit, but like the world building, you didn't like. Yes, you gave us like a few narrative dialogues, but like the world building is so well built into the entire story. You're getting so much. Like, I know we are hopping around, but I need to show y'all like one of my favorite pages.
Yep, we are locked in, Keisha.
Okay, see? This
Because
is
at
one of
that
my
moment, I was like, "Oh, shit's about to get real." Because I
right.
literally, like, okay, my bad. Say what you were gonna say. Because I just got me
But
too
no, like
excited.
on this one page, you're getting a little more because this doesn't happen like for those listening, right? We're on page 30 of this first issue, and Rayanne and Bailey, they're talking to this guy, and they're trying to like, I don't know, protect themselves and get out the door, but apparently something happens to him, he gets shot. And what's happening on this page is absolutely fantastic. You're getting more of the world building, the fact that New Texas has regressed severely. We're going back to the 1950s and how we're speaking to people, and that happens like throughout the entire issue. You're getting the humor that happens, because that's another one of my questions, the way you have this wonderful balance of having those hard conversations and concepts and all of that, and you balance it magnificently with humor that's just like all the way through it. You're you're getting like this amazing artwork, and like this final panel where homeboy gets a bullet through the neck was wonderful, right? Just absolutely wonderful. Like Bree says, like, yo, shit is going down right here, right the fuck now. And it's been building up this entire time. I 10 out of 10, no notes. Wow.
100%. 100%. So I love the way you just explained it, Keisha, but I have to tee it up for the people who haven't read the book, because the way that they laid everything out, you're like, you start off with our main character and it's like soccer game, it's very chill. You're getting like high school rivalry energy vibes, but then you get like introduced to these little notes that are like, oh, something's about to go down later today that is a lot more serious than high school soccer, and they're just talking about it normally, like, so just like for
Out in
those
the
who,
open.
yeah, those who may not be familiar with the concept of the purge, it's pretty much just like for one night, in this case in New Texas they consider it a holiday. There is a 12-hour period where people can do whatever to whoever without any consequences of the law or anything like that, right? So we get introduced to our main character. We're at the soccer game. There's like some teenage back and forth, talking smack because it's a sports event, whatever. That's normal. But then you have this underlying thing of like, okay, you're mad because we're winning, like we're up, and you're looking stupid because you're losing. And the people from the team who are losing are like, yeah, whatever, because we got you later. Basically, when the purge gets going, like when this thing starts happening, and you're like, wait, what? And they're just saying this openly, like there's nothing hidden about it. It's very blatant.
At all.
That was another thing that was kind of like, hey, yo, because like when I was in Texas, like I said, I was in high school and I lived in Houston, but the way that it was separated is like it's technically not Houston. It's considered a leaf. So the schools that were around me were like people that look like me. But if I literally went like two neighborhoods behind where I live, there were schools there, and it was like, don't get caught there by yourself after a football game, or don't go that way by your, like, it was very clear. And the good beige people of that space talked to you in that way because they knew, like, we know that you know better than to pull up over here being brown or anything other. So like it was the same energy, just in that environment. They still have to abide so much to the law. In this environment, it was very visceral, because it's like, yeah, imagine being a teenage person and having that like full fledged of anger and ferocity behind a sport. Like, this normal to get amped up about a sport, but to take it to the point where you're like, I'm a white soccer player and I'm playing against this team and I'm talking smack to this black soccer player, pretty much like, oh yeah, you may be winning, but we gonna see what's up uh once this other thing comes into play. It was like the way that it was introduced, like I said, felt like a gut punch, like 1-2 real quick, because it was like, oh shoot, like this escalated quickly. And so then you like go past the game, they're talking about things with the coach, and the coach is like talking to their team afterwards, like, yeah, I've lost a lot of players to this sort of thing, and because they're usually mad after we win a game. And I'm just like, wait, then it comes and becomes clear, it's like, oh, this isn't just some like underground shit, this is like sanctioned and understood, and the adults are just like, yeah, there's nothing that we can do, these are the expectations. And
Exactly.
even boils down to like, okay, like, the final thing for this is at 6:30, so make sure that you're at the safe house by 6:30, so that way you don't get caught in the. And so our main character goes to talk to like some scouting people from college, and I'm like, my good sis, they just said it's
That
five
was
o'clock. Like, ain't no way. I would have showered when I got home. Like my whole, I'm just like, and so she goes to do what she's
You
gonna do.
didn't have to smell her though, Bree. She smelled. She was.
Oh my, I don't. Y'all
She had
gonna
I
smell
mean, it
every
was
drop of this funk, because I'm not showering until I get to the safe house. I don't care what's going on. I was like, wait, what? And
I
then
mean like
we're
the
talking
like
to. Oh, go ahead, babe.
no, I was saying like y'all did a fantastic. Okay, I did have a question because I
Okay,
didn't
so
want to lose it.
same. Wait, before we do that, I was trying to just set the scene that like this is building up. So the energy I'm at
Yeah.
right now is where we're at, and then the time elapses. I knew she shouldn't have been caught out lacking until the time, because one of the heifers from the other team like knocks her upside her head, so she has no choice but to be out in these streets during it. So then her ex or ex-friend situation pulls up and then like gets her out of that, and they start walking away. Then we get to the panels that Keisha shared as her favorite, and this dude is talking to them, and I'm thinking like everybody is real chill considering the purge is about to happen like in the next 30 minutes. And he's just talking Kiki, and then brat right in the neck. I was like, ah, oh Lord, I knew they shouldn't have been outside. Like, what's going on? So that's and this is the buildup. This is why Keisha is saying it was so well done. And it was built, like, you could tell it was built very meticulously, because you're getting the energy hyping you up to the potential for what's going to happen. And then you're in this like little lull while they're having the conversation, and you're thinking like, okay, maybe they'll just like dance around it and we just hear about it, and then no, but right in the neck. I was like, oh shit, this is about to get crazy. So very well done. The energy is intense, it is insane. The build up was very well paced, very well timed. And y'all see me keyed up like this, the energy stays like that, continually moving. So
It
please,
does.
now I had to lay the stage for anybody who hadn't read it yet. But now please ask your question, Keisha. And just y'all know y'all did your big one with that.
Can
Y'all
I,
did
can
good.
I actually make one quick thing, Keisha, just to respond
Yeah.
to that? Look, I want to say so much went into this project. Obviously, it still kind of boggles my mind when people receive it in the way that they do. But
Yeah.
what you were talking about specifically, a shout out needs to be made to my co-writer. I am a drama girly. I like to turn it all the way up. And she is just like so unserious and doesn't really care. And so we did strike that balance only because we had each other to play off of. And so exactly what you're talking about is the thing that I was like, the reason why I was like, I want to do this with her, because I know that I'm so serious that I need that voice that's kind of like, well, what if we just kill him? You know, see
Oh,
what happens.
that's
And that's
no,
what
but you need that, right? You need
you
that, especially when you're talking about like topics like this.
Yeah.
You need to balance the hope, the actual life of people, because I mean, for real, we live in a dystopian world. We live in a variation of this, but we still manage to find, funny things, hopeful things to involve with, to connect with. So, y'all are a great team, just all around, not just the two writers, but just your art team. Y'all are fantastic. So I'm assuming the communication in putting all of this together, it was easy, or y'all were just I don't know, y'all were just peace and blessings, this is gonna be the best shit ever, and just
Yeah, it's kind of
Alicia, you look like that comment stressed you out. Speak your piece.
I need her to answer this one.
Honestly, I really think it's I Simone, she honestly brought us all together. And she put the team together, and she manages to direct us in the in the direction that she wants to take the story, and it's been really good so far. Yeah. But there have been some moments where we were just kind of like, okay, you gotta bring it back a little bit. We can't do all of this.
What was one thing that you had to pull back or change, or something that you wish could have stayed in?
One thing, drones. I hated seeing the drones. I don't know if you've noticed it, but
yes, they were over the limo,
yeah,
and
everywhere. And I was just like, why do we have the drones? But with Simone, there's a purpose. There is a purpose to that.
That was stressful.
Yes, but honestly, after going those, now I started seeing drones IRL, so I'm just like, bro.
Yes. And also, Alicia, she just said the thing. Your hard work is going into creating a vibe. She's immediately stressed because something. She's like, what information is it getting?
No, for real. I mean, y'all created a terrifying world, and now that you said you've seen it in real life, does it stress you out, make you angry to know how close y'all are?
Yes. Yes. Now these drones are just from local companies doing drop ship services or delivery or kinds of things. But I know just given conspiracy theories and stuff like that, going down rabbit holes, that eventually it can be turned into what we see in the comic series, which is actually very, very stressful and frightening.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
And it's honestly the thing that that grounds the process of it, right? Because it's a big thing that we're doing, and we have our team spans so many countries and time zones, and the thing that we're doing is hard to actually align all the time, and so it's the reason why we're doing it is what drives us, not so much the thing that we're doing. I think Alicia was the perfect partner for me, because we were already in the middle of doing this when the election happened. And it was a perfect moment of the whole team, even the people who weren't American, were like, I think I need a mental health month, maybe a quarter. And, and so all of us kind of just slowly stopped talking. And I was going through this period of do I even bother? There are bigger things in life, to when I was telling you guys earlier, where I didn't take it seriously enough at the beginning. And I'm like, am I going to force all these guys to rally when they're completely justified? What is making art right now in this, with everything that's going on, especially as a woman of color who just saw what happened? And Alicia hit me up one day, and she was like, just letting you know, I'm going to throw this out there. I'm in Texas, and I feel like there are little girls who need this story right now, and we have to do it. And I was like, say less. I ran the alarm and did my little rounds, and yeah, it's exactly what we need, this kind of scary time that we're in.
Yeah, it speaks so much to the reality of what's going on, and it is a tough topic, or several tough topics, by the time you guys touched on a lot, but it is so necessary. I didn't want to interrupt your thought as you were saying that, but just thinking that we've experienced, Keisha and I have heard from a lot of creators who go through that of like, oh, is this the right time? Is this the moment? Is this, appropriate? Is this worth it? But like the fact that it's so close, it's like if you don't do it now, then what? I feel like it holds more weight and value to anyone who comes across this story because it's happening right now, where it feels so close and it feels so tangible that like adds to the fear factor of it. But then you see like the fact that everyone is still kind of trying to go about their lives in spite of whatever else is going on. That's the real core of the message. You know what I'm saying? So like I'm so glad that you guys found each other in your team and were able to like rally and push each other to move forward, because this is the absolute correct moment for this story. And I'm so glad that you pushed forward. Wow.
Yeah. Thank you guys. And honestly, we didn't say it because we're both very awkward, but even just the flowers that you guys did give us, for me, the sentence, "This is for me," is why we did it. It's got to, there are people who don't get to say that often enough. And you're damn straight, Keisha, it was for you specifically. And it was for every single person who clicked that button and thought, damn, I want this.
Yeah.
This is already.
Like, there's nothing I can say that I haven't said already. Like, y'all did your big one with that. I guess what I do want to ask, there's this book I always reference it. It's an academic book by Dr. Sami Shalk, right? And they say like what speculative fiction is and like the purpose of it, and how it either, especially with Black and brown folks, it either like serves as a warning for where we are, or models what we could be, right, in the future. And so like my question to you is, obviously Dead of Night is a warning for everyone, right? It is that very scary warning. So like, do you think it is something that will absolutely happen? Or do you feel like we have enough time to course correct? Because once again, when I realized it was 2036, I was like, this is too close for comfort. Like, I don't know if you're trying to tell us we're cooked or not.
This is like a perfect thing to like show people like, yeah, if maybe you thought you might be lazy and not go vote, like
right. But this will happen.
Right.
I can honestly say, like, living here, there is a lot of hope. If you've heard the news, like James Tallarico has won the Democratic primary for, the Democratic side of Texas, and there's a lot of people rallying behind that, and I think right now, as this next upcoming election, I think would be, just like any other election, but like just this one specifically is probably the most critical, because I think if people can see the change that can happen in a state as red as Texas, I feel like that can begin like a domino effect into other states, and even just push Texas further into a more progressive direction. And and I see it here, like driving around Dallas area, which is where I do live. I see a lot more signs for Tallarico, which in the past you've seen more signs for, the Republicans and anyone voting for them. So I think we're kind of going in a positive direction, but it's kind of something that we have to continue to push. We can't just stop at just where we're at right now. It's hopeful.
Yeah, I think that it's so funny you keep saying the date to me. Like, first of all, I know that you're actually reading this shit, because I'm like, that's the date that it's especially because we started it 3 years ago, so it didn't even feel like it was that close then. But yeah, I'm thinking about where I was 10 years ago. 10 years ago, I was in Florida. I was trying to like scrap my way back to LA, because I was on and off in LA as well. And it was just like what I thought was the end of my career, which really was the beginning. And so many things were happening. and my life is completely different today. A lot can happen in 10 years for one
A
person, let
lot,
alone
yeah.
a society. And I just think that we can avoid it if people start to and it has to come from us, but if we remember what critical thought is, what I'm getting from this conversation is you guys' media literacy is just goes off. Like you guys are in the shit and you're looking for the messages. And I feel like, and maybe I'm wrong, I'd love to be proven wrong, that you're a dying breed. And until we get to a place where we're actually actively pursuing that media literacy and actually questioning everything that we ingest, I think that it's absolutely possible. But I believe in us. At the end of the story, at the end of the day, the story is about hope,
Yeah.
and that's also part of the the not taking ourselves too seriously, right? It's it. I think when you believe you're the smartest voice in the room, and then you try to like force feed your smart message down the throat, there's going to be some resistance. But if
Yeah.
you do, like you guys are calling out this idea of Blondie saying, "I'm going to kill you tonight" in the middle of a soccer game, you're like, that's a little bit extreme. Like, stop and think for yourself what's happening, rather than me saying, Blondie is evil, and let me explain to you what's happening. I don't need to do all that. You can glean it for yourself.
Right. Exactly.
But yeah.
I love the way that you phrase that, and I love that both of you are viewing it through a hopeful lens, because that's literally why we're here. That's why Pink Riot exists, because if we are a dying breed, the goal is to introduce our love for reading and stories to people in a way that
Yes.
they want to take it on too. So that's more people that are a part of the movement, more people ready to riot instead of just being complacent,
And you're
So
doing that. I see 1,500 in my site. I don't know you.
I mean,
we trying to do a little some, a little
yeah,
rapid fire.
little.
No, I love that you guys both have a hopeful approach, and I love how that was also like intertwined through the story, so it's clear, like, even if that may not be the biggest thing or the biggest thing that's said in the story, it's definitely said, and I think that that's important. We have Chell in the chat said, let's see, two things that they said I want to mention. Are we in a resurgence of bubblegum slasher slash thrillers? What do you think about
Mm.
Mm. You have thoughts, Alicia?
Mm.
Oh, I got thoughts for days. Okay,
I feel like
so
we could do a whole show on this, but we want to hear from y'all.
I think so. Because I talk about this on my channel a lot.
Yeah.
I would say that there is definitely an appetite for it. I
Mm.
think that the reason why we were able to reach the people we were able to reach is because people want it, but the people in the boardrooms don't think that there is an appetite. So, is it resurging? No. Is there a want for it to resurge? Yes, absolutely. And I think so many people, like myself, want it so badly they're willing to do it themselves rather than wait for someone to buy or option or give them a grand screw you. I'll do it. I'll do it, and then we'll see who shows up, and then get the money up.
Yes.
Like,
Period.
Yes. I
we
mean,
are
like, and y'all really like. I'm fascinated by how y'all got the money for. I like not to be in your finances or nothing too hard, but like, I need y'all to understand the quality of this comic is amazing. Like, this is a glossy cover. This is the cover A. This is fantastic. Like, inside the art, I mean, you guys have already seen it, but for those listening, like, the art is stunning. It's black gutters, which I absolutely love.
Yeah, we're
I
obsessed with
love,
the Black Gutter, especially
yeah.
for a thriller piece.
Yeah, and it just is done so well. There's end pages, or if this is being shown,
yeah.
like, yeah, y'all went all out. Like, so I would love to know, like, how did we get this funded? Your marketing is insane, because over on TikTok you got like 14,000 followers. How?
She's the miracle worker. She did it all. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are not gonna believe me when I say this. I know Alicia knows this because she knows how awkward I really am. I hate social media with a passion. I did not have a social media before this book.
Yeah.
So you get me. I know you get me, the mere fact.
Necessary evil, very much.
Yeah.
It really, really, truly is. And luckily, I'm a Virgo. So, so in the same skills that allowed us to, manicure and curate a team of 12 people at a certain point around the globe is the same skill that I just put into like just building the strategy out. But honestly, guys, I say this a lot. I don't really have a strategy. I say what I'm vulnerable about, and the people respond to the vulnerability. And then I get really insecure about having that vulnerability, and then I don't post for a month, and then
That sounds about right. Mm-hmm.
so that's that part, I think. And then the money. So yeah, the part that I blipped over in my journey into coming to creating comics is that I used to work in TV and film,
Okay.
and so yeah, I work, and I'm still freelancing, which is another reason why the social is so sparse right now. But at the time that I started this project, I was working at a studio, which is now effectively owned by Donald Trump. I'm not going to say which one. You guys can make your guesses. And is doing a lot of things that I could already see happening 3 years ago. And when I started to kind of gather that, I was like, it's not for me. I'm out. This is just what the studio life is going to be. I think as a kid, if I could have seen myself in this role, I would have been like, she made it. Like, this is what we wanted. And it's just how life goes. I got to it and it wasn't what I wanted. But what I did when I got there, a lot of like studio development is just finding stories, going and reading books and then seeing if you can make a show out of it. But naturally, what ends up happening is you have a studio will have a dedicated book scout, and the book scout is sending stories from a specific lens that they find to be the most valuable. And so very quickly I was seeing, oh, okay, we're only getting 10 or 20 books a week. All of them, I can't see any particular nuance in for me. And so,
Said, I can't.
That was smooth.
I heard what you said.
and so yeah, I was definitely that girl. And I told my boss, who, God bless her, this woman was just a gem in the studio system, and I will live by that to the day I die. But she was like, if you don't like it, go find something else. And I was like, you're right. You know what? Let me go. I'm gonna go get what I called alt IP. That was the video games. That was the comics. That was the webtoons. That was all of it. And I was like, they're out there. These people don't have an eye on them. And the same time I started scouting it, we started to see Last of Us and we started to see Fallout and people coming back to the alternate IP, the non-book IP. And it was, for me, like, oh shit, I used to love this when I was a kid, but I kind of fell off. And now the storytellers in it, like, we got
Yeah.
10-4, yeah.
Yeah.
We just did a review of that one.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, I know you guys would. Like, this is why I'm doing it, right? People in this space have a little bit more freedom, and they're doing what they want and saying stuff that's valuable. And so it's just like, okay, great. But in doing that, I kind of was like, I could do this. I could do this, and then I could also definitely sell it on the back end. So I went into this, I'm going to tell you guys, like, fully crazy. Like, I had to have a real conversation with my wife where I told her I don't want to crowdfund. People don't know me. I have nothing to tell them. Put your dollar on me, invest in me. So I didn't feel comfortable doing it. So I took my own savings and I set it aside and I made a budget. And I knew exactly what I could afford to do, but I knew that I wanted to also, work with real artists who weren't able to do this elsewhere for other companies. Like, God bless Mad Cave. I don't know how to do a submission with them. Like, they're great, and all the stories that are coming out of there are fabulous, but they're also niche. Once you find that group, you work with them until they're out of the business, essentially. And so yeah, I mean, it was really taking a chance and seeing what would happen. And thankfully, it's May. We've already paid off the cost of paying all the artists. We're finally in profit, and yeah, like, at a certain point, it was like taking that anger and saying like, I got to put my literal money where my mouth is. I'm telling them they're not willing to pay for these projects because they think that people like us won't show out. Okay, well then I got to put my money down and see if people will show out and see if it'll happen. And they goddamn did. So
Period. And
Yeah.
wow,
Oh yeah.
that's we're catching a theme, and it hasn't been intentional, but the sheer number of people who got out there and like laced up their Nikes and went for the shit like with their own like gumption and pockets is crazy. And the
Yeah.
number of those people who also intersect with uh the people who started off in film or TV
Mhm.
in some
Yeah.
capacity and were like, yeah, this ain't it from what they're doing over here, and if we want these type of stories to be told, we have to do it ourselves. And comics is probably the best medium for the story I'm trying to tell right now. It's like it's really inspiring. And one thing that I don't want to harp on it because obviously you did the damn thing on your own. You found a way. And I love heavy on the I wanted to pay people what they're worth for their work, and I did it. And it's not they're waiting for an invoice. We paid it, and now we've broken even from the money we've made.
That's
Like, say
amazing.
that part out loud more often, because the yuck that we've
We
heard
heard
from,
stories.
yes, from people not getting paid, and if they do get paid, it's like 9 months to a year later and stuff like that. It's like it speaks and then like what Keisha was saying about the quality of the book, like no corners were cut, okay?
Oh,
And it was like, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do it in a way that I can feel proud of, that's going to represent all of these things that we are putting in the book and the way that we're living our lives. Like a lot of huge imprints could really learn a lot from just that little bit that you said just there about like moving with integrity and for the sake of the value of a story, not because it fits some mold of what people are expecting will make money. Like you've proven the point because you've done it on your own. And what I will say is the only thing I didn't agree about everything that you just said was that you didn't have something to stand on to represent to people to make people want to back you,
I would
because
have backed this
a
Kickstarter.
100%, a
That
100%.
that was actually going to be my next question. I'm like, so with the next volume, like, will there be a Kickstarter? Because you have assumed a massive fan base, and
Right.
I am expecting another issue.
Yeah, it's a
Hmm.
great place
Yeah.
to just be like, let your work speak for itself. Like you have proof of concept. You
yeah.
have crazy people like us screaming to the interwebs about how dope the story
Will.
is, the good quality of it, all of the things. Like y'all have more than what a lot of people have to stand on in this moment to do a Kickstarter that would be beyond successful moving forward. So yeah, I want to know the answer to Keisha's question too.
I'm gonna drink some water.
I mean, what do I say? We're working on the second volume right now as we speak.
Yay.
Yeah, so
That's exciting.
it's a work
I
in
can't.
progress.
I can't wait.
I hear you though, and it's very valid. I'm working on my relationship to asking for things, especially money. I think you even touched on at the very beginning, like this comic is available for free for a reason, and
Yeah.
because I mean, you guys look through my comments any day of the week, you're gonna find at least one video that someone is like, I mean, I guess I'll get it maybe in 3 weeks because my paycheck. You see the way my bank account is set up, I got to move my money from the check. And it's like you don't gotta do all that, honey. Like it's there. I get it. It's really frustrating for me that we are living in a time where just basic recreation means people have to move money around in their bank account.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah,
Agree.
I need to get better
I'm
about
gonna
that.
just say this though, because I saw this online and I think it's brilliant, and I have to remind myself because I'm also that way where I don't ask for help and people have to
Mm.
tell me to stop and have a seat. Um, it is anti-black to not be in community and not to ask for help. Just to let you know. I saw it.
You're a menace.
It's something that I have to tell myself constantly, and that's why I'm working on asking for help these days, because I'm like, you're right. We have to be in community. We cannot take things on ourselves. We can't be so individualized. That is a very white supremacist type thing. We have to be. So I'm letting you know that whenever you do, we here.
I'm not getting accused of being a nationalist in these comments, so
you did lay it on real thick, sis.
My bad if it came across, but I just want to let you know, like, the community is here and we rooting for you, and I'm gonna do whatever, okay, to make sure.
We've seen, no shade, just tea. We've seen some projects not nearly on the par that this book is on get fully funded like real quick, real fast. So
that's very true.
You know what I'm saying? And then actually, if you really think about it, it's not like asking people for money. It's like pre-orders.
You're right. I'll take that.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're not gonna bug you too much more about it on the show, because we realize we did just piss on the
yeah, my bad. Yeah.
But it's just coming from a place of love
this
what
is coming
you're
from
doing,
love.
we believe in this, and we don't see why not. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yes.
It seems like a very clear path. In the interest of keeping it cute and changing the subject, another thing. Go ahead, babe. Sorry, what were you saying?
Oh no, I was gonna ask about the relationship, so we can talk about what Shell is saying.
Yeah, I just wanted to do that real quick, and then we'll get into that tea. Chell Simone said, let's see. After their bubblegum slasher comment question, they said, like, I feel like this is the time for this type of storytelling to thrive. We 100% agree. But then they also backdoored and said, also wonder if what happened with the kids in Frisco at the track meet inspired this.
I'm Googling that right now. It did not, but oh God. Wait, this is new. This is like hours ago. If this is the same one. Definitely not. Do you guys already know this story?
I am not familiar with this story.
Twin brothers, teen stabbed. Oh God, hold on.
Oh.
No, right now. Chelsea.
Yeah, I can't. I can't.
We'll touch on that at another time. I was thinking that maybe it was not like a previous thing, but yeah. Okay. Last thing Chelsea said is they want the next issue so they can ask for their cameo. And that's not entirely wrong.
It's not, but that's not where I was coming at.
We're on a mission to get.
So look, the thing about this, if we're gonna put Keisha in, we need to choose what style, because I know you like to keep it fresh, keep it cute. So you're gonna need to give us a photo that you want.
You're happy to provide reference photos.
Okay, I do want, because we're gonna honor time, right? I do have a question about the relationship, because we talked about the world building and all of that, but like at the end of it, this is a queer relationship with two girls. They were friends, and now Ruth is like, you and me, we don't have the same, morals and values. And Brie, what's her name? I'm sorry, Bailey is like, yeah, that's cute, girl, you still like me. Like, she's like, you still want me, and I'm gonna make you remember
her friend
it.
Said the same thing, like, you might want to stop acting like XYZ if you really
exactly.
Yeah.
Like they're in the middle of like the craziest, most violent situation, and Bailey is like, you want to do what to me? Yeah. like, like what inspired this relationship between them, because they have amazing chemistry.
Yeah.
And they are all they match each other. They are evenly yoked in different ways, but like you can tell they match each other's crazy. Just,
I was
like
gonna say, that sounds better than evenly yoked. They
Yeah.
match
you know
each
what I'm saying?
other
They
crazy.
match each other's crazy, and I appreciated that very much.
She's yoked to her Ed White. That's right. You know what people keep commenting a lot. So Alicia, we brought Alicia out for a few months. Actually, she stayed with us out here. We did a little
Oh, that's
session,
awesome.
and
Nice.
and then my wife, who has very very skillfully deflected any comments about how similar she looks to Bailey. Her and Alicia got in conversation. Alicia was like, "You know what? I think it's based on you." and we both look at each other. We're like, I don't know what.
I love that.
I find it so funny because like I'd never met Simone's wife before. I'd never seen her at all. And so when we were designing Bailey, Simone was just giving me pointers on what she imagined Bailey to look like. And she was
Like
giving
looking
me
at her across the room. Like,
but there was one thing that I remember is like she noted like Bailey's nose. She had considered maybe giving Bailey like a unique nose and everything. And so I think that's kind of like what I took to heart, because Neri kind of has the same nose, and I was just like putting pieces together, and I'm just like, yeah,
it's slander, Your Honor.
Yeah. It's spitting image. That's Bailey is her and Simone is Ray.
I would say it happened very, very subconsciously, and I will hold this into my grave because,
sure.
Wink, wink.
Details were crafted, were curated over time, and so she started as one thing, and then I mean,
just subconscious vibe. That's what it was. Just.
So was it like the comic is done, a month or two later, you're looking at it and you're like, huh?
Yeah, we were probably like over halfway through by then, and then
it was actually the page right before the page that you showed. I think it was page 29. And one of my favorites from Alicia of the expression work from when Bailey is crawling out the back of the car. And Ray's like giving her attitude from behind. She's like, she cuts one of them looks, and I'm like, yeah, that might be.
That's her.
That's cute though, because now you can just tell your wife, like, see, you're such a big part of me. I just was like, we're just gonna infuse what I already know this beautiful standard to be into the story.
Yes, to the point where the first signing event we did, someone opened the book and they were like, "Oh, it's you two. She signs too."
Oh,
my wife was like, "Oh no, I didn't work on it." She goes, "No, you sign. Thank you."
Period. Oh no, that's right.
She's a star.
I love that.
So you're telling me that when we ever do meet in public, you and your wife must sign this comic.
I'm just saying,
like, all of you must sign.
Yeah, we're gonna need everybody to sign it. And what I'm also hearing is that Alicia is really good at getting people's features.
Yeah, I just need
on the page.
You don't even know
that part.
When you get ready to see this Pink Riot cameo, I'm gonna be like,
send them over. Send it.
When you give her a reference, you got to think not only about your fashion and your hairstyle and what you're also gonna get that expression. Give her some real good expression work, because this girl, hooey,
period.
It's phenomenal.
Thank you.
Period. Love it.
Man.
Okay, so I know you gave us the tea about like already working on the next one. What is the like estimated time frame? Like, you don't have to give us a hard date, but like,
yeah,
not that
art is art. We get it.
We can totally change the subject if you're not ready to answer that question also.
Well, I'll say this, especially for I see a familiar face in Melanin Minds is in the chat. People who are actual readers that are watching right now, Pride Month will be very interesting for you. That's all I'll say.
Excuse me?
Yeah, got nothing else for you.
I beg your finest fucking pardon?
I expect a DM.
Right? If you're talking about
Just-
this Pride Month, we should have been got a DM. I'm like,
I'm just saying.
Pride Month is next week, so
It sure is, and it's terrifying.
Yeah.
we're just gonna send you all of the good vibes.
Thank you.
yeah,
Appreciate
Okay.
it.
this is,
Yeah.
Received.
We
this
need
is
it.
wonderful.
We need it.
Oh my god.
I'm not
Okay.
gonna stress it out. Y'all got it. Next
Yeah,
week.
we're
I'll wait.
just gonna let that sit for a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh,
I can wait a few days. That's fine.
yeah. No, it's fine. Did
That's
you
fine. That's
have any other burning questions? Because I want to make sure we're being respectful of their time.
One last question.
Okay, yeah.
If you were in this universe, what would you do?
Ooh.
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 Oh, no big deal. A light question.
Light question.
Burn in the governor's house.
Hey. On the holiday, because who gonna check me?
Yeah.
Right. No rules.
Right.
I think that I would sleep through it. And that is, generations worth of exhaustion that is currently sitting on me.
I can
Get
respect
it.
that. I can respect
I know that I just don't have what it takes to be out there fighting. I would step one way, my knee would go the other, and then it would be a wrap.
Right. I got it. Okay.
You're definitely not beating the main character comparison allegations, because that had me rolling. One of the lines was like, "Oh no, I'm not trying to be doing that because my type of character would always die first." And then Bailey's like, "Technically, old buddy died first." I was like, "Oh shit." Oh well, that's it for me.
How about you, Bray? I'm asking everybody.
Yeah.
What would you do?
Oh, you're asking me?
Yeah.
Oh man, see. All right. So
we got a plan.
I listen. I'm like, don't tell me there's a purge scenario, because the danger is always going to be there. I feel like it really depends on what day you catch me on. Because a day like today, I'm with you, Simone. We at the house. Where is the safe house for this year? Because that's where I'm gonna be at, curled up with a book. Okay, deep in prayer, because I don't need nobody to find me. Okay. However, if you catch me on one of these days where I'm like doing too much, and I probably wouldn't even decide till down to the day, I'm getting the squad together. It's going to be a like focused sniper / heist.
Oh, we're taking everybody out.
Because
Okay.
I'm like, listen, if we're gonna do it, I'm like, there's some folks that don't need to see tomorrow, so hopefully we can get things moving where they like.
I wish
Drunks?
this was surprising, but you said similar about zombies. So
I mean, listen, I'm like, if you because here's the thing, like right now I can say I would be asleep because I'm comfy in my own home, I don't gotta worry about the things. But let too many Susans threaten me on the soccer field, then your energy just moves a little different, and you're like, you know what?
She's not
If
wrong.
I get the squad together, we can get rid of these particular threats and pull off a dope enough heist where we have enough money to make moves until the dust clears.
I think you're gonna like Volume 2. Who said that?
Let's fucking go! Let's go! I'm here for it. I'm so here for it.
Okay, Keisha, you've avoided it long enough.
Oh, me? Oh, same answer as zombies. I'm not built for outside like that. Like I'm strong. I can handle a gun. I'm good with certain, but do I want to? Absolutely not.
Nope.
And so
I
just
call
by
bullshit because all that would have had to happen is for that Susan to have been on the field with
With your
Keisha's
son.
son, and this
Yup.
would
oh
be a
yeah,
different
yeah, yeah. I
conversation.
got lines. I got lines in the sand that will, I feel like everybody knows what lines they have in the sand, but as long as like my little piece of land and my family is all right, I'm staying in the house. We
And
mess with
Rayburn said,
anything.
"Total BS."
We mess with my garden, we mess with my chickens, then we gonna have problems. But outside of that, I just want to be left alone.
All it would have
That's
taken is
it.
for, oh man, y'all. We were on the phone for one of our meetings one time, and Keisha was doing mom tings, and one of the community people was like, "Oh yeah, I know your garden. I know where you live." And we were like,
I'm sorry?
"Why would you say
Yeah,
that?" And Keisha had
yeah.
to be like, "Oh no, it's because of the now imagine this is New Texas."
Oh
Oh yeah,
And
God.
the
yeah, yeah.
old
No, no,
girl
no, no, no,
said,
no.
"I know
Yeah, yeah,
where
no, 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 no,
you
no,
live."
no.
Yeah.
That's a
God.
problem. That's a
Yeah.
problem.
No.
Yeah, yeah.
No.
I mean, but that unfortunately that happens when you live in a rural space and you're like one of 10 Black
It's
families. So
true.
it's like, oh yeah, we know who you are, and it's. I wish people understood how terrifying that is for
Yeah.
random people to say that to you. And
Yeah.
it's like, I don't know who the hell you are, but somehow you know who I am and where I live.
Yeah.
It's true. Even just in, look, I'm not even in a rural space. I'm in
Yes,
LA.
Alicia.
In this building. In this building.
Basically.
One of three. There was an Instagram post outside our building with a black hand one day, and the whole building was like, "Is that you, Simone?" No, but thank you.
Oh no.
No, but thank
See?
But thank you.
Oh my gosh.
You're
Oh
too
my.
Terrible.
comfortable. It's too comfortable. So yeah.
Genuinely.
I'd have to have a line crossed in order for me to do anything. You know, I'm the one that nobody really wants to deal with me when I have a line crossed
Mm,
because then I really have nothing to lose.
I've
So
never
yeah.
I'll
had to
leave it at that.
experience it to that extent, but I've seen her playing spades, and I can attest.
It's the way I be playing
The way
spades.
I play spades is completely normal.
Which is why she really was like, "Yeah, I'll teach you." I seen the claws come out and was like, "I don't even need to play that bad. I don't need to learn."
You don't get it, Bree. You don't get it. There's something deep. There's something historical.
Oh no, I
That
do.
you
I do.
activate.
Which is why I'm like, it's above me now. It's too late to learn. The grace is gone. It's fine.
Oh, God. That is
Wait, okay,
Get
so
it?
Alicia, what is your take on how you would be in that universe?
Oh, I was burning the governor's house.
Yeah.
Right, okay. Just,
Yeah.
like that's the main thing. Like, yeah, that's what we're doing. That's it. I don't need
Yeah.
to do nothing else. Just the
Taking
one
down
hit and
drones,
I'm back at the spot.
maybe.
Yeah.
Taking a couple drones with him.
yeah,
There
right
you
now.
go. Okay.
Over the drone.
Alicia said,
You
I'm
were like the drones really got you in
you're
this.
right.
Drones almost
Yeah.
broke us, y'all. Drones almost broke us. But here we are, thriving.
Yeah, period. Oh my gosh, I love that. Okay, now that we all have our purge plans in place,
I love this.
thank you guys so much for coming through and showing love. We absolutely adore what you're doing. We can't wait to see what's happening next. Apparently, like next week,
Next
which
week
is crazy.
or next month.
Just know we will be screaming and celebrating you on Beyonce's internet to the fullest of our capabilities. We want you guys now to give us your very best shameless plug. So where can we find you? Where can we support you? Where can people spend their money? When people do decide to cop the book, where's the best place to do that so you get the most money? Like shameless plug, your projects, everything you have going on right now so people can support you.
Go, Alicia, go.
You can find me on Blue Sky, Tumblr, Twitter, Instagram as Persnickety Doodles. I draw a lot of Avatar fan art. You won't miss it, especially
I
close
love
on
that
me.
name.
Thank you. Thank you. Right now, besides Dead of Night, I'm working on my own personal comic. Simone knows about it. I've talked to her briefly about it. It's a Western. Sapphic
Ooh.
Cluster. Yeah. I don't want to talk too much about it, but
Okay, okay.
it's still in development. But that's something to look forward to if you do follow. But yeah, I'm around the internet for snickety.
She's an elusive one. She said you got to bring me back for another episode to talk about that.
And Will.
Hey,
Say less.
well,
All that takes is a DM, babes. You're official Riot fam now. Say less.
Yes, you can find me through the Bold Strokes channels. I do
Bold
not have any personal socials that I actually look at, so it's Bold Strokes LA. Unless you're on Instagram where it's boldstrokes.la. And yeah, for buying the book is available on Kindle, on Gumroad, TikTok Shop, Shopify. You can find it on all of the socials. There is a link that'll take you to where you can get it, and you'll also be able to if you've fallen on hard times, be able to access it for free anywhere you get your comics. Comic Fury, Global Comics. Same with Gumroad. Gumroad I love because you get to choose if you want to pay and how much you want to pay if you want to choose. So yeah, available in all shapes and forms. And you might want to get it this week because there's going to be a special edition. So yeah,
Oh, that's all you had to say, babes.
that's
That's all you
it.
had to say.
Those who follow already know I love to do myself a special edition.
yeah, this is gonna be wonderful. I'm so excited that the two of you came on. Like I said, this was one of my favorite comics. Y'all did a fantastic job, and I am expecting a DM or something. Just I really am. I don't think I can wait until next week. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to DM you or something.
I think you might have to do that.
Okay.
Thank you both for having us and for doing what you guys are doing for the community and just bringing visibility to projects that would otherwise not have it and blur type shit. We love to see it. So
Period.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
thank you guys so much for coming through. We really appreciate y'all. Like I said, y'all are now officially Riot fam, so you're welcome to come through anytime, whatever you got going on. Even if you just want to come through and kiki, like we're here for it.
I'm gonna make you regret
Absolutely.
that.
I guarantee
That's
you
fine.
won't.
You won't.
All right, y'all. Later, everybody.
Bye.
One more time for Simone and Alicia. Oh man,
Yeah.
yo, that was absolutely fantastic.
Right? I love their energy.
Yes.
And I love when we're able to like seriously fangirl about a story that we thoroughly enjoyed, and it seems like the creators, maybe it's their first time getting it firsthand from readers. Does that make sense? Because
Yeah.
like I don't know, it was mentioned like, oh, you're catching the things, and it's like that was a very valid, excellent point about like media literacy and being
Yeah.
intentional when you're reading, because it's like that seemed like an obvious thing to catch, but it's, I guess maybe it's not.
I mean,
So
there was a lot, like we didn't even touch on everything that happens
yeah,
in this comic. And so
yeah,
like, yeah, to see that and to know that, there was such intention putting
yeah,
this comic together. You,
yeah,
you know what? Can I say just how, like, I know I made a big deal about like the Kickstarter thing, but just like how fantastic it is that she's made the comic so accessible,
yeah.
to everyone. So like, that's such a badass, like rebellious, like
It's such
activist,
a low
like
key flex to just,
it's such a
you know,
revolutionary thing to be
yeah,
like, nah, I got this. And, like, we're going to make sure everybody in the community has this so they can pick up on this lesson, have fun, and then
yeah,
talk about this. Like, that is brilliant. And I love it. And I hope that even if they do a Kickstarter, I hope that they keep that same model. because it
And
seems
low
it's
key, I think keeping that same model and being clear about that amid the Kickstarter will make more people want to support them low key, because like how many times have we had, I mean, granted, it's an important conversation to have, but how many times have we had the conversation about like having to explain why indie comics cost so much and what goes into
Mhm.
it and all of that or whatever? Our good sis Simone really said, like, you know what? Fuck all that. Fuck what y'all talking about. I'm trying to make some shit shake. And I got some savings. So we about to
Yeah,
do what we do, and I'm gonna make sure that everybody on my squad eats, and we just gonna keep it pushing. Like, I'm not trying to hear none of that shit y'all talking about. Like,
so good.
it's a whole nother level of a different type of flex, and it speaks worlds to her integrity
Yes,
and to her
a
vision
thousand
for where
percent.
the story is going. Because can you imagine believing in your story that much to where you're just like, it's cool,
I'm gonna
like,
put
pay
everything
what
on
you
it.
can if you can. I just really want more people to read my shit. Like,
But
I
it's smart
aspire to that
though.
level of flex, like confidence in a flex. Like, what are we talking about? You know what I mean?
It's smart though. It's brilliant. Like I said,
Yeah.
not just on a business level, but like I can only imagine the number of people who are like reading comics for the first time or like, um I don't know, it's just their first time in this space, in this medium, and they pick this comic up and they're like, "Yo, this is what got me into comics. This is what
Yeah.
got me thinking about the world. This is what got me, on a different mindset." And I, I think it's been a minute since I've gushed this hard about a comic, but like I'm happy that you loved it. For real, for real. We ain't talking about it. Oh
Yeah.
snap. Okay. No, no, no. Go ahead, and then I'm gonna tell you.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, yeah, like I wasn't you send me a lot of stuff, okay? And I love you for it because it keeps my nose wide open about a lot of things that I would otherwise not maybe not pick up on in my little hidey hole. Cause I like my hidey hole. It's cute in here. It's pink and fluffy and fuzzy in here.
Oh my
But
goodness.
a lot of times you'll share stuff with me and I'll be like, it could go any type of way, because we like, while we agree
We have
about a
different
lot of
tastes.
stuff, we enjoy different things. And
Mhm.
so to see you gush about something and be like, hey, you got to pick this up, da, 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 I'm just like, okay, girl, like I'm intrigued because I feel like a lot
Yeah.
about what I like. So there's
Mhm.
some shit that you're just not going to pitch to me. I already know this.
Yeah.
For the most part, you'll give me the benefit of the doubt to try some shit. But there's some things where I just know that you probably like, yeah, I may talk to her about it on the side, but she not finna pick this up. And I can
At
respect
all.
that because we know each other well enough. You know what I mean? So when I got it out, when you mentioned it and how you found it on TikTok and whatever, da, 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 I was just like, oh, okay, that's cute, whatever. And then it was like, okay, and here, yeah, it's here, so you can read the first bit for free, whatever. Da, 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 da. I was like, oh, she's serious. She really wants me to read this. So I was just like, okay. And then to like get into it and like, I want to apologize because I feel like I did step on some of your questions when we first were in the interview, but it was because I felt like it was really that important to like set the scene of the buildup into it for people who haven't
Mhm.
experienced it, because once you like get to that point, you're just like, oh shit, say less. They could literally throw anything in front of me and I'm gonna read it.
Yeah, that's it. That's exactly how I read.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
exactly how I read. I was with the shits in the entire comic.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
we ain't even talk about the little kid who got a knife to their throat and stuff like that. Like, there's so much that happens. I'm just like, I let
Girl.
everything rock.
We gave y'all like, if we did lay out, I did lay out a lot and we did share the panels and whatever, but that was literally just the fucking beginning.
Yeah.
Like, when I say it keeps doing this, like building on its own momentum to push it forward, that's what it feels like. When you're on a roller coaster and you get to the point where it's like this before it like does the drop. That's what I gave. That's the bit of the comic that I gave y'all in my little outlay. And then from there, it's just like, hey, yo, you know what I mean? So
It was a
Yeah,
magnificent comic.
just really well done, and we didn't
Yeah.
even talk about how fun the art style is either. Like, I love when we get like a contrast where it's very serious topics. Like they said, the hope and the humor is like interlaced in it, so it doesn't feel like dark and brooding, hard edge. There's enough threat there though that you feel it. But then the
For
art
sure.
style like lends itself as like an additional layer of personality and kind of softening, and like even in the page that you shared, the like contrast of them having this conversation in the dark because it's nighttime, and then when old buddy gets shot in the neck, that whole little panel is like bright as hell, and
Yeah.
it's like, not y'all bust out all this bright beautiful ass color for buddy to get shot in the fucking neck. That's crazy, but it's
So
masterful
good.
because you're looking at it like the what is it, the mood in that particular scene. Like if you have been watching it in a movie
Mhm.
and it had
Yeah.
that color, that color
It would have
contrast,
been, yeah,
yeah,
same.
it hits different. It definitely hits different. So yeah, I
So
don't know, I'm kind of getting won over in this like cinematic approach to comics because we haven't seen
yeah,
one that has been a miss. Like we're
you're
finding out
right.
after the fact that this is how they're approaching it, and it makes a world of a difference.
It
It really
does.
does.
Oh, man, but, like, hopefully next month, we're gonna get something new. I'm definitely DMing them because
Like,
I'm re
I love that you were
I
like,
will
I feel like, I'm like, yes, Keisha, talk your shit.
I
Period. But
just
actually, though,
yeah.
like, you could you see how confuzzled I was when she was like, oh yeah, Pride Month. I'm like, what's the meme of
Next
the
week.
lady with the numbers and digits and shit running? I'm like,
Yeah.
hold on. What you mean? And we just stressed poor Alicia out with that. She was
We
just like, yep,
did.
yes, it is next week. Yep. I was like, period, say less. I don't know, I love it. They
Yeah,
like,
this is
I
gonna
know
be
when
exciting.
we catch a vibe, we're literally like, yeah, you guys can come back anytime. I'm literally like, nah, they need to pull up.
Yeah. We
Simone was
gotta
like,
do another
oh, you're
show where
gonna
we talk
regret that I
about
told
what's
you that.
coming
I
up.
was like, bet you I won't. Bet you I won't regret that. Not even a little bit.
Not at all. We gotta have a show where we talk about the next volume. Like,
Oh, 100%.
definitely.
Like that was a very
Yeah.
obvious like, okay, cool. So, yeah, we're going to just get our read on and then immediately have them back to review style chat about that, and then figure out when we're going to just get the Kickstarter popping, because obviously we want them to be able to keep the same energy, like pushing the story
Absolutely.
forward. Yeah, cuz wow. Good. Yeah,
And,
I know. I've been excited about this all day, mostly because I was like looking forward to seeing you just fully fangirl at this chat. And like, I love it when it ends up just being a blast just because of the exchange of energy being like fully even. You know what I mean? Like,
they are great. They're
right.
really good people. And
And
like I said, I'm loving the way they are moving. Yeah, I'm waiting for next week, next month, patiently,
100%.
impatiently. I won't even lie.